Welcome to the Explainer. So, if trimming your dog's nails feels, I don't know, more like a full-on wrestling match, I'm here to tell you, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into that super common, super stressful standoff between us, our dogs, and their paws, and we're going to look at some real-world solutions from people who have been right there in the trenches with you. Okay, let's just start with this feeling, this quote from a dog owner online. Man, it just perfectly captures the heart of the whole problem, doesn't it? It's that feeling of total helplessness, when you have this incredible bond with your dog, but even that isn't enough to get past this deep, deep fear they have of anyone touching their feet. And listen, this whole conflict, it goes way beyond just having nice-looking nails. For owners, it is a genuine emotional and practical struggle. I mean, the worries just stack up and up over time. You can really feel the anxiety in the stories people shared. You've got owners who are worried sick that their dog is in actual pain from their overgrown nails. They're dealing with bites. And get this, one person mentioned that even their senior dog's toothless bites were still painful. And then there's the sheer exhaustion of spending hours trying to get just one single nail. All of this is happening while you're dreading the thought of having to sedate them every single time and the cost and stress that comes with those vet visits. So if there's one thing you take away from this part, it's this. You are not alone in this fight. This is a huge issue for so many people. But here's the good news, right? That same community of owners, they shared a ton of awesome solutions that actually worked for them. So let's get into what they had to say. All right. First up, let's talk about professional and medical help. This is basically for when you've hit a wall and you realize, okay, I can't do this on my own. It's time to call in reinforcements. For a lot of dogs who have really extreme fear, medication turned out to be a total game changer. So many owners shared that their vet-prescribed anti-anxiety meds, things like Trazodone and Gabapentin, sometimes used together, and that was literally the only way they could get their dog's stress level down enough to do a nail trim safely. And for more of that long-term underlying anxiety, some folks even found that daily meds like Prozac made a huge difference. And look, this isn't about giving up on training, not at all. As this person points out, sometimes after you've tried everything, medication is just the most humane, the most compassionate next step. When the behavioral work just isn't cutting through that deep-seated phobia, reducing the dog's terror, well, that's the real goal, right? Sometimes the absolute best solution is to just outsource it. Let someone else handle it. For some people, paying that $30 or whatever it costs for a vet or a really skilled groomer to just get it done, well, as one owner said, it's money well spent. It can save you and your dog hours and hours of stress. Okay, moving on. What if the problem isn't just the whole ordeal, but the actual tool you're using? Let's look at some alternatives to those dreaded clippers that might just completely change the game for your dog. So this is really fascinating. One owner brought up this theory that traditional clippers don't just cut the nail, they actually crush it. And that pressure can be really uncomfortable or even painful, which is what creates that horrible association in the first place. But grinders, like a Dremel, they just file the nail down. Now, yeah, the noise can be a little scary at first, but a whole lot of owners found that their dogs handled a grinder way, way better than clippers once they got used to it. And then you have the truly hands-off solutions, which are pretty cool. You've got things like scratch pads. They're basically a big nail file board that you can teach your dog to use as a fun trick to file their own front nails. Genius! For a lot of dogs, just regular walks on pavement or concrete is enough to naturally wear their nails down. And yeah, believe it or not, some dogs just take matters into their own paws or mouths and chew their own nails down. All right, our final set of solutions is all about playing the long game. This isn't a quick fix. This is about changing your dog's mind about the whole thing, rebuilding that trust, and creating brand new positive feelings. So here's the absolute key. You have to break the connection between someone touching their paws and the nail trim itself. Think about it. If the only time you ever touch your dog's feet is right before you do the thing they hate most, of course they're going to freak out. The goal is to completely shatter that bad association. And this quote just nails it perfectly. This person found success by creating totally new memories with paw touching. Just gentle touches when the dog is sleepy and calm. No agenda. A quick wipe of the paws after a walk. These little moments have nothing to do with nail clipping, and they slowly start to rewire your dog's brain. Someone laid out this awesome step-by-step plan. And look, you gotta be patient. This could take weeks or even months. But you start super small. Just gentle,
daily touching in low-stress moments. Then you teach paw as a fun game with tons of high-value treats. You bring the tool, the clippers or the grinder, out and just let it sit there while they get treats, not even using it. And then when you finally do try a trim, you do one nail. That's it, and you stop. It is all about those tiny, successful baby steps. Okay, so we've covered a lot, right? We've talked about medication, getting professional help, trying different tools, and that long-term desensitization work. So, what now? How do you actually put this all together for your dog? Well, the number one message from everyone who weighed in was pretty clear. There is no single magic solution. There's no magic bullet here. What works for your neighbor's dog might not work for yours, and real success usually comes from mixing and matching a few of these different strategies. So think of all this as your own personal toolkit. Your winning strategy might be using a nail grinder while you're also doing that slow, patient desensitization work. Or maybe for you, it's a combination of medication from the vet, plus regular visits to a pro groomer and making sure you get in plenty of walks on the pavement. It's all about finding that unique recipe that finally lowers the stress for both you and your dog. Because at the end of the day, progress only starts when you take action. So, looking at everything we've talked about, what's one small step you can take today? Seriously, what's one thing? Maybe it's just touching one paw super gently while your dog is asleep. Maybe it's hopping online and ordering a scratch pad. Or maybe it's finally making that call to your vet. The most important thing is just to take that first step and start to rewrite the whole nail trim story in your house.